We find ourselves in the heart of Alberta, Calgary. The Wild FC return home to take on the Halifax Tides. It's week 18 of the Northern Super League season. 5th place Calgary battles 6th place Halifax. My name is Matt Cullen alongside Canadian Youth International Jessica Lisi. Already the 4th time that these two sides will play each other this season. No more secrets. They know each other very well. Let's begin with the Wild. Sturdy Storty, Grace Storty.
I love that, Matt. Sturdy Storty is right. She's a player that's proven her impact for this team on both sides of the ball. She plays a big role in their attack and her ability to get forward and drive end line, but also put good service in the box. But also defensively, you can see here 49 tackles won, 30 interceptions, 47 clearances, 172 shots faced. She's definitely a big presence for this Calgary team, and she's going to be big for them today.
Has played 90 minutes in each of the last 6 matches as well for the Wild. Let's move to Halifax. Megumi Nakamura has already scored a couple of goals against the Wild this season and would love to put in a repeat performance here today, just like this match back in early July. The 1-0 win for the Tides.
Yeah, she's been a player that has been instrumental for the Tides this season. She's very crafty, she has great IQ, and obviously, as you're seeing here, she was the one that scored the lone goal that led the Tides to their first win over the Wild the last time they met. But just a very hard-working player, great IQ, and she plays a massive role for them.
And goal scoring has been one of the main issues that has plagued Halifax over this last month. In fact, just 1 goal scored in the past 6 matches, and that was from Amanda Allen in a 1-1 draw against Montreal, and Allen not available today.
She's not available today, and that's going to be a loss for them, but this is a side that has grown so much from match to matchup. They've created a lot of chances, so it's a matter of being able to convert today, and I think that it's just they have to play together. There has to be that cohesion because, again, the pieces are there, but that final piece of the puzzle is just lacking.
So Calgary and Halifax, both teams are desperate for points. We'll have the starting lineups on the other side from McMahon Stadium. Halifax looks for a rare road win, while Calgary looks to keep the momentum going. Moments away from kickoff in Calgary at McMahon Stadium. It's the Calgary Wild FC taking on the Halifax Tides. So we take a look at the starting 11 for Lydia Bedford's Calgary Wild. Just one change in the starting 11 today. That's Maddie Wilson in for Janaya Robertson, who was not in the team today. But Jess, I know you want to talk about Jorian Balcom, who's had a big impact and hopes to up top.
I think this Calgary team has proven that they can create chances, that's for sure, but they've been struggling a little bit to convert them, and I think that Balcom is a player that has the ability to be that difference maker, specifically on that great delivery that we've seen out of the right side, whether that's from Thurton or Storty. I also think Savitsky is going to be somebody that's going to play a huge part today. She's massive in keeping the team connected on both sides of the ball.
And speaking of Jacqueline Savitsky, we had a chance to catch up with her earlier in the day. Jacqueline, you have a key home game today against Halifax. What will be the biggest key for your team to come away with 3 points today against a side that's on the rise?
Yeah, I think the last few weeks we've been really working on that final third product. So I think just continuing on to that progression and finishing our chances this week.
Now, you personally scored a big goal in the win in Ottawa a week ago. You mentioned about that quality in the final third. What's been the biggest key to you stepping up?
Yeah, I guess coach made some substitutions at a crucial time in that game. It was pretty even throughout, and the person that came on kind of gave me the go ahead to get forward, and I saw some space and just gambled, and luckily it worked out our way.
3 points in the back pocket. Thanks for this and best of luck today.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk Tides. The starting 11 today for Katie Barrett, who's on the touchline for the interim manager, Stephen Hart, who's not available today. A whopping 6 changes to the side, including Sarah Miller here, Jess.
It's great to see Miller back in the lineup. She's somebody who's pacey and loves to go 1v1, which brings a lot of energy for this team. And we saw that difference when she subbed in against Vancouver in helping them find a bit more force behind their attack. I also think Lemire is somebody that has proven to make a difference for them in the middle of the park and controlling the dynamic of the game and really helping them with that build-up play.
And we had a moment to talk with Karima Lemire, the Montreal native, prior to this match. Karima, you are the minutes leader so far for your team this year in the Tides. What's been the biggest adjustment that you've had to make to find some success this year?
Well, I started the season as a left back, so it was something different for me. I never played there before. I'm a natural midfielder. I've always played there all my life. So for sure, it was an adjustment at the beginning of the season. But right now, I'm back in my natural position, so for sure it feels like more natural. And I feel more comfortable and more confident on helping the team.
And now looking ahead to today's match, you know obviously Calgary very well. This is the 4th time that you have played them. And the last time you played them, you came away with a win. So what will be the biggest key to you to repeating that today?
I think today we just want to stay focused, disciplined, stick to the plan. Of course, we want to convert our chances. Last game, we had a lot of chances and we didn't convert them, so that's the main focus today.
Thanks for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
So Lemire and the Tides have made the trip to Calgary. Just 1 win in 7 so far for Halifax away from home. It's a long trip coming from the Atlantic time region. But they've already beaten Calgary once so far this year. And this is a wild side, Jess, that went through quite a few struggles, went through a stretch of 6 losses in 7 games, but turned that around with a 1-0 away win in Ottawa last weekend. So both these teams outside of the playoff picture, there's a lot to play for here today.
Absolutely. We're seeing 2 very resilient sides meet, and I think they both have some things to clean up. From Calgary's perspective, the last time these 2 teams met specifically, they lacked that bite in their attack that we've seen them have earlier in the season. Defensively, they weren't on the same page in regards to timing, and that really broke them down. They allowed Halifax to really come at them, and Halifax is a team that brings a lot of heart, but it's a matter of being able to convert, and that's something that they've struggled with.
Underway in Calgary with 5th place, the Calgary Wild taking on the Halifax Tides. Glad you could join us here for match week 18 in the Northern Super League. 3 valuable points on the table here today. The Wild come in 3 points back of Vancouver for that precious 4th and final playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Tides 8 points back of the Vancouver Rise, and certainly know that they have some work to do. Early Calgary possession in this match. Balcom taken off the ball quickly by the Tides. Lemire will try and look to move forward. It's won back by the Wild. Catherine Harvey in her 4th appearance for Calgary plays wide. 30 or so yards away. It's taken back by Sarah Miller, the Halifax native, in for her 13th start of the season. A whopping 6 changes to the side, Jess. Do you think that's can be disruptive to the team, or do you think that this team needs that?
I think sometimes subs are a good thing. You need some, you need that consistency in a lineup, but at the same time, you want to prove that you have that depth. And I think as the season continues on, you're going to have to call on some new faces. And it's not like a lot of them are players that are coming in and haven't played a big role so far this season when they have had those minutes. So I definitely think that it's not going to disrupt any momentum. These players are all very capable of making things happen, and this is a moment where they have to prove that, that starting 11 spot is theirs.
Ball played again to Harvey down this left side, and pretty muscular duel there with Eva Fremont, who leads the Northern Super League this year with 5 yellow cards. 1 yellow card away from a yellow card accumulation suspension. So Fremont does need to be on her best behavior here today, but comes away shaken up here, Jess.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get from Fremont. You know that every time she goes into a tackle or there's an opportunity to go into a duel, she is not backing down. She's giving it 100%. And a lot of times those end up as fouls, but she is somebody that wears her heart on her sleeve, and you love to see that, and you love to have it on your team.
Early corner kick here for the Wild, and it's sent up into the top netting. 24-year-old Sophie Guillemette, the starter today for the Halifax Tides. First professional start for the Montreal native and former McGill University goalkeeper. Comes as a bit of a surprise as Annika Toth unavailable today due to a knock, and Aaron McLeod remains away from the team. So it's a big spot here for Guillemette, and just talking with Coach Katie Barrett before the game, saying this is a big opportunity, and there might be a role going forward if she plays well.
It absolutely, it is a huge opportunity for her, and you know that as a third-string keeper, or as anybody that is coming off the bench, you want to go out there and you want to prove what you're capable of, and you have to have that confidence in yourself. So for her to be able to step out there, get this start, and hopefully come up big for her team today. I'd love to see that for her and make a name for herself in this league so far. We haven't seen her yet, but she's definitely a goalkeeper that is capable. She graduated from the University of Vanderbilt, a very capable goalkeeper. So excited to see what she does.
Ball played back. Bocum has a step in the penalty area, plays over, and it's off of the post. What an opportunity for the Wild. Maggie Doherty-Howard, already a couple of goals on the season, puts that one off the base of the post, and somehow we're still tied 0-0. Tides do win this ball back with Miller looking to play forward as Millie Clegg, a last-minute addition to the Tides today, with Amanda Allen being unavailable due to injury. Doherty quickly on the throw-in. Plays into the middle, Savitsky. Micah Wolfsama, Dutch defender, moves wide, Harvey. Calgary very much on the front foot to begin this match here today. Ball comes into the middle from Maddie Wilson, and that's cut off by the Tides and quickly sent away. This is a Tide side here, Jess, that has allowed 24 goals against in 15 games. That's the worst mark in the Northern Super League. They're looking to tighten things up here on the back end.
And we've seen them tighten it up, I would say, as these games progress. They're a lot more compact in their shape, and they are on the same page as when to step and when not to step. But to shift the focus to Calgary just quickly, Matt, you mentioned the front-footedness, and that was something that they came out with against Ottawa as well, and that has proven to be a strength of theirs this season. In the games that they did come out a little bit, taking that back seat approach, they weren't able to find success. So this is great for them. This is a great start. You see the difference that a player like Doherty-Howard makes when she's able to get on the ball. Obviously an early chance just before this. So definitely a team that's very capable when they come out with that right mentality and that front-footed approach,
Karima Lemire shifts to the wide side. Julianne Valeron, the new additions to the Tides, for her third appearance with Halifax. Nakamura has some company from Wilson and forced to push back to the back line.
Valeron is a player that I've had the opportunity to play with in college, and she is an absolute force. I don't think we've even seen the best of her so far. She's obviously only played in a few matchups for the Tides, but she's so capable on the offensive as well. We're seeing her in that more defensive role, but if you allow her the time and space in the attack, she will hurt you. She loves to go 1v1. She's very crafty, but she's also a very smart player.
Nakamura looks to Daphne Blouin, Quebec City native, in the starting 11 for just the second time this year. Quickly taken away from her, but how about the work rate from Nakamura, who does win the ball back. Here's a look at how things have gone here for these two teams in the last couple. 2 straight draws for Halifax have really started to try and right the ship. That was after a 6-0, a heavy defeat against Vancouver. The Wild have still dropped 6 of their last 8 games, but are coming off a big away win against Ottawa back on the 9th. Free kick here for the Tides. Lemire, left boot, delivers in, looking for Clegg. And that's out of the reach of the Auckland, New Zealand native, Millie Clegg.
Millie Clegg's a player as well, Matt, that I'd love to see step up. She's had the opportunities to prove what she's capable of, and I don't think we've seen her best yet. I know, she's a player that has all the abilities to do it, but those opportunities that she's been missing in and around the 18 have to be cleaner from her, and she's absolutely capable. So I'm hoping that today is the day that we see her get her first ever NSL goal.
Blouin chases down this ball. Stephanie Bukovic sends it away. 7th straight start for the 29-year-old Bukovic. That clearance might set something up. Wilson in the middle, unable to run onto the ball. Taken back by Nakamura. Played over to Clegg. Clegg's ball does go over the touchline and in for a Calgary throw. Taking a look at Lydia Bedford, who has 3 wins, a draw, and 3 losses at home so far, but have dropped their last 2 home games, the Wild have, and 3 of their last 4. Not something that this team wants to make a habit of here, Jess.
Most definitely not. And again, we're seeing them come out with that front-footed approach, so you know that they're hungry for this win. They do not want to continue not getting the results. A lot of the times when they don't get the results, it's because of their conversion rate. It's not because they're not a team that's incapable of creating those opportunities, because they definitely are. Defensively, staying compact, all being on the same page, finding that cohesion of when to really start your press. That way you're not broken down and pulled out of shape.
Calgary set to go on 3 straight matches away from home following this game. Matches in Montreal, Toronto, and in Vancouver. Next home game in Calgary, September the 13th. Just under a month from now. September the 13th. Does that mean summer is officially over? Not officially, but kind of feels like it.
That's a sore subject, Matt. I don't want to talk about summer being over.
Lots of summer left. Here's Clegg on this ball. Looks to try and go between the legs, and that was cut off neatly by Allie Green. Clegg still looking for her first goal contribution of the year, and perhaps a familiar face with a New Zealander also on the touchline with Katie Barrett. First New Zealand-born woman to lead a professional soccer club anywhere in the world. Some history today for Katie Barrett and the Tides.
Ooh, go Coach Barrett. That's definitely
big spot.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be proud of.
Built the female academy at New Zealand's Wellington Phoenix before arriving in Halifax, which is not a short trip away, going from New Zealand all the way to the Canadian Atlantic coast. Long way away from home. But this was a match when Stephen Hart was brought in, he knew he wouldn't be available for. So Katie Barrett says it's been circled for a little while that this would be the plan. But it's business as normal. No change in terms of the way the team operates.
No, most definitely not. And she's obviously been a part of this Tide squad, and she knows the ins and outs, and the players obviously have a lot of respect for her. So, yeah, you carry on business as usual, and you just drive forward and you try to get that win.
Just the one big chance in the match so far. Doherty Howard putting a ball right off the base of the post after a Halifax giveaway. Allie Green will be celebrating her 27th birthday tomorrow. Lots of August birthdays, I feel, right across the Northern Super League. Halifax had a couple of birthdays last weekend as well.
As a February baby, I am jealous. I would love to have a summer birthday.
Right in the heart of winter, Jess. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's not the best.
Let's take a look at the match officials here today. Isabelle Duclos, the Montreal native, will oversee the match here. It's her 9th appearance of the season. Been a national referee going back to last year in 2024. Also had a couple of matches at the W Gold Cup qualifiers in her career.
You're seeing Calgary with that pressure and putting Halifax immediately under pressure, not giving them any time and space, and it's forcing them to have to send that ball long at times when the direct play is not on, as you saw just in that exact circumstance.
Halifax bringing up some pressure. Rolfsoma has to go back to the keeper. Bukovic, who has 3 clean sheets on the season, 5 wins, 2 draws, 6 losses. Room to run for the Wild down this far side, and perhaps even an opportunity to turn the corner. This will be a goal kick.
It's unfortunate that that goes off of Sturdy, but that Sturdy, that's what we were going to talk about. But she's a player that has proven what she can do on both sides of the ball, and this is exactly it. First off, this is great defending by Valeron to be able to not allow that cross into the box, but Storty going forward is going to cause issues. And on that right flank, we've seen so many times between Storty and Thurton, the combination play and just having that overload, getting balls into the box has proven to give Calgary a lot of force in their attack.
Cameron puts a touchdown. It does go forward. Opportunity for Blouin, who was just outrun before the ball was swept away. Comes back to Valeron, who's recently playing in Spokane in the USL Super League. Foul is given, going to be a Halifax free kick here from a pretty dangerous area. Sarita Thurton.
See Thurton tracking, which is well done by her to be able to get back and not let Valeron free, but a bit of physicality there from her, and then now there is a dangerous opportunity for the Tides.
Well, goal scoring has been the big emphasis here for Halifax. Have just 10 goals in 15 matches this year, well under a goal a game, and that's the fewest in the Northern Super League. So all of these chances here are very valuable.
We've also seen what set pieces have done for a lot of these teams so far this season and just how dangerous they can be.
Sarah Miller on top of this ball. The quarter of an hour mark, it's dealt in, but right into the hands of Bukovic, who makes a relatively routine save.
Although she has the range to hit that, in those opportunities, you have to pull it out a little more, treat it like a corner, recognize where those numbers are so that you're able to get something dangerous off. That wasn't much of a test for Bukovic.
Earlier on in the day, it was the Ottawa Rapid picking up an away win at Stade Boreal with a brace from who else? D.B. Pridham.
Who else?
2-0 the final scores. The Roses fall at home. Certainly will make things a lot more interesting towards the top of the table, with AFC Toronto in action tomorrow. Montreal and Ottawa all now in relatively close quarters.
It's a good look by Moore to attempt to find Harvey on that run. That switch ball is something that has also been helpful for Calgary so far in the attack this year, and Moore is definitely a player that is capable of hitting that and connecting, just unfortunately overhit slightly in that exact situation.
It's a 20-degree day today in Calgary. Overcast skies, some rain as well in and out of the southern Alberta region. From all accounts, it hasn't been a great summer weather-wise in Calgary. Cold, wet, rainy. The rain so far, though, has held off for this match. Perhaps these players will enjoy it rather than in the searing heat. Get a bit more of an overcast day. Nothing wrong with that.
I definitely never minded that. I would love for that sun not to be beating down on me when I'm trying to run for 90 minutes.
Savitsky goes back to Michaela Moore. Balcom looks for a foul from the head referee, Isabelle Duclos. None given.
It was well done by Leslie to read that and not allow Balcom to get on that ball and turn and create something.
Fremont takes a touch, plays to Clegg. Nakamura with a few players wearing those purple kits right around. There's a good ball forward. Clegg, full stride, strikes on goal. Rebound is loose. Bukovic makes a good save, but the rebound was pushed right to the heart of the penalty area, but no Tides player able to capitalize. That's the best opportunity so far for the visitors.
We just spoke about Clegg and, you know, wanting her to have that confidence to drive forward. This is a great ball through by Fremont. Great timed run by Clegg, and she makes this run. She strikes it. I'm going to be honest with you, Matt. I love the confidence go forward, but she also had Cameron on the early pass. If she looked up just slightly earlier, was able to play that ball, and Cameron is gone center of the net, whereas Clegg is obviously more pushed off to the side. But nonetheless, that's a great opportunity. Great play, great build-up, and that's exactly what this Halifax Tides team needs to continue to do if they want to convert some goals today and walk away with another win.
That rebound was right there for the taking, too.
It was. It absolutely was.
19th minute, each side now has had a good opportunity to score. Doherty Howard plays forward. Ball chipped, but eventually intercepted. That was Wilson trying to push forward. Savitsky. Doherty Howard tried that ball forward again. This time it's Annika Leslie, former Canadian Youth International and Halifax native, will slow the pace. One back in the middle of the pitch again by the Tides. Once again trying to unlock Millie Clegg. That's an opportunity with back-to-back runs down this right side. This ball is lifted in back post. Tiffany Cameron there, but it goes off the side netting.
Cameron is somebody that has proven what she's capable of. I'd love to see her hard work pay off, and that's something that Coach Barrett mentioned, you know, wanting to see her find the back of the net because of all the hard work she puts in. But Millie Clegg getting there, and then Fremont sending this ball in. It's just slightly over hit, but Cameron does not give up. She continues to run forward, and something that Coach Hart has also mentioned about her, and since she's come in, is she's such a good role model in how hard she works on the pitch, whether she's on or off the ball, and you can see that in her ability to find the space and provide that pressure when it's needed to help her team out.
He's played 90 minutes in 2 of 3 matches since arriving, and the work rate is something that comes to mind right away with Tiffany Cameron, who plays for the Reggae Girls in Jamaica internationally, also a former Canadian international. Ball sent down this far side again. Storty has to try and hustle to catch up to it. It does go over the touchline, though, in for a Halifax throw.
That doesn't come off for the Wild, but that is on time and time again, and you see that Storty driving forward, and if she's able to keep that in bounds, she's potentially creating a dangerous opportunity there by getting a delivery into the box, because we've seen her do it time and time again. You don't want to give her that space on the right flank.
Cameron with Moore giving her no time and space, and that pays off for the Wild, who have now won a free kick. As that's Daphne Blouin push in the back, and the Wild will have another opportunity here on a set piece.
There's no hiding that one. Definitely two hands on the back of Doherty Howard. Can't play that one off.
So it is the experience in Megan Doherty Howard to deliver this ball in. It's headed away neatly by Leslie, sent back in towards goal, and Guillemette has to dive across, and it's a corner kick that's on the way here for the Wild. There's another close call.
Savitsky almost getting her second goal back-to-back games, but Doherty Howard has proven that she's somewhat of a free kick specialist. We've seen her do so well with those opportunities, and Calgary has been great in and around the box at creating something dangerous. Now they're able to get another chance in a corner kick, potentially putting them on the board here.
Second corner of the match here for the home side. 23rd minute still awaiting the game's opening goal. Allie Green wants to have a chat here with the Wild captain, Doherty Howard. Perhaps something special might be in the works here, Jessica.
It wouldn't be the first time that we've seen them pull something out of their back pocket and have it work in their favor.
And it is a quick pass over, sent in. A half clearance comes back. Wolfsama drive, and that is blocked. Tides do have numbers, but this will be another corner kick.
Halifax has to be able to not only win that first ball, but also collect the second ball. And that was something that they did really well in the last time these two teams met, winning those first and second balls. But right now, Calgary is beating them to that second ball. They're not allowing the ball to be cleared.
Corner kick number 3. The defender, Green, again, this time will deliver a ball in, and it is headed on towards goal. That one wide of the woodwork, and we'll go for a Tides goal kick.
See another look at it here. This is a great delivery in off the left foot. You see both Moore as well as Wilson get up for that and collide a little bit in the air, but Wilson not able to redirect that towards frame.
Just the 4th start of the season for the London, Ontario native, Maddie Wilson, former Iowa Hawkeye in the NCAA. Looks like an injury break is being signaled by the officiating team here. So a halt in the action as it's Stephanie Bukovic who has gone down. Needing some medical attention, so that will allow the two teams to grab some refreshment here, as it really started with the Wild on the front foot, but Halifax has had some chances here as well.
Yeah, they have, and you know, Halifax is a team, again, we've mentioned it time and time again, but the fact that they're a team that continues to grow in each half of soccer that we see them play in is phenomenal from them. And you see those little moments of build-up where they're playing those balls through. You saw Fremo playing that ball through, and then you're seeing here these chances where Bockham is able to get on that, and Doherty Howard going right off the post. That pace and that physicality from Bockham really leads to that. And you know, Doherty Howard is a player that you don't want in front of your net. But then you're also seeing on the opposite side Fremo playing that ball right through to Clegg, who's able to really create something dangerous but not finish it. She drives forward, she has that confidence, and that's what you want from her. And there's also a rebound, but you're seeing Cameron not be able to collect it in time. But both sides are having some good moments of build-up. I'd love to see them really, you know, calm it down and just try to control the dynamic, try to manipulate the opponent and really have it fall in their favor. There is a little bit of hecticness at times, but I would say both teams are really bringing that front-footed approach.
5 points separate these two sides in the Northern Super League standings. Wild have 17 points through 15 matches so far, with Halifax down to 12 points through 15. Opportunity to run for Wilson. Might have a step, but just runs out of room. Looked like she would have had a great opportunity, but that ball just kept rolling and rolling and over the byline for a goal kick.
If she had that step on Wickers there, you see, again, the confidence and drive to go forward. She takes that touch. She has her beat, but the ball just continues to roll out a little too far ahead of her. But that's great effort by Wilson to drive forward and try to create something out of that and go 1v1 in such a tight area.
Headed into touch again in the 27th minute. Tides come into this match winless in their last 5. Last win for Halifax was a 1-0 triumph at Stade Boreal in Montreal. A stretch that capped off 3 wins in 4, but have now gone 5 straight without a victory. And we'll certainly need to try and change that if there is a race for one of the spots in the playoffs. Malcolm. Quickly taken off the ball by Valorant, who comes up with speed. One back, though, by the Wild. Valorant spinning back. Does well to win another challenge. Halifax laugh-back putting in a good shift to work there.
That shows you the mentality that Valorant has, and I spoke to it a little bit before, but on the defensive end, she's a player that is not going to give up. She goes in hard, and she has that resilience in her attitude and in her mindset, and you see her here anytime she does play the ball. She's going into space. She's trying to get it back to help her team create something going forward.
Fremont plays the ball forward. Wilson again. Savitsky. Balcom taken down. Once again, palms in the air, asking for an intervention from the head referee. None given again. Thurton. Valorant steps up quickly and intercepts. Storty. To Moore, to Rolfsema, and then a quick shift to Green. Rolfsema. Play back to Michaela Moore. Nakamura. Ball played forward, but no presence up top for the Tides this time.
These are the moments here, Matt, when you're building up. You want to move the ball with pace. You want to try to shift Halifax out of their shape, tire them out a little bit, but just continue to have them stretched and shift them so that they're not, so that you are able to create those gaps and find the ball. As Baucom is there, she's able to find that gap because of that quick play to create that gap in Halifax's compact shape.
That's the second straight time that the Tides have missed on that pass forward. Looking to be a bit more clinical, looking for goals. Tides just have one away win on the season. A draw coupled with 5 defeats. Life on the road has not been kind to these Tides, but they're right in this match. A half hour in, still 0-0. Clegg looks forward. Blouin in a one-on battle. Rolfsema takes care of the ball there. Savitsky. Wilson didn't see a way forward. Played back to Bukovic. And also to the New Zealand defender, Michaela Moore from Christchurch. So a pretty solid New Zealand connection on both sides in this match. Fremont.
We've seen it a few times now, Matt. We're seeing Allie Green really push forward, and you're having Harvey tuck in to allow that flank for Green to get forward and create those overloads and potentially create some combination play to create something going forward. But Calgary is a team that has proven that when you get the ball out wide for them, when they get balls in the box, they're very dangerous. So you're seeing Rolfsema and Moore look for those switch balls, as well as really looking for that flank play anytime they're building out of the back.
Ball sent once again up over the top, but into touch. You can see some frustration there starting to build into the Tide side there as Blouin looking towards the bench with the frustrated gesture. That's the third time now that pass has really gone into a space where there's no presence.
Yeah, there has to be a thought process behind when you're going to press and when you're going to hold and stay compact. And the Tides right now, it seems like they're a little disconnected on when to step. You don't want Blouin just going out and pressing aimlessly. It has to be, if she steps, the rest of the team is on the same page and they're pushing forward. Otherwise, that is how gaps between your lines really start to open up, and that allows Calgary to take advantage and really live in those spaces or potentially send that ball over top.
4 attempts, 1 on target for the Calgary Wild in the first 30-odd minutes. 2 attempts for the Tides, 1 on target as well. It was Clegg's big chance down the right side, resulting in the Bukovic save. Nakamura runs into Savitsky, and that allows Calgary to take this ball back. Wilson, a drive towards the goal. It's touched and then off the bar. It caught the keeper Guillemette completely by surprise. And the Tide's fortunate they don't give one up from 30 or 35 yards out.
That's a great strike by Wilson, and great recognition that she had a little bit of time and space to do it, but she hits that with very little space and absolutely smacks it, almost giving them their first goal, excuse me.
And Guillemette, one of the smaller keepers in the league, standing at 5'6". And it was a fingertip save with a bit of help from the crossbar that keeps this game scoreless. Eva Fremont. Ball forward again, but it's another one that's too heavy with the touch. So Maddie Wilson into the starting lineup, testing the keeper in her debut. And
well struck. She recognizes it. There's that time and space in front of her. She gets behind Lemire and absolutely strikes that. It's a great save by Guillemette, but they cannot allow Calgary to have that much time and space, specifically in the center of the field.
I stand corrected. I'd say that's about 40 yards out.
There was definitely some distance in that. I agree with you, Matt.
What a great chance, and big save from Guillemette with a little help. Ball given away here, this time by Calgary. Blouin looks towards goal, into the penalty area. Will take a corner kick. Daphne Blouin finally connecting and opening up some opportunity.
I'd say right now, Matt, the simple things, it's the little things that are letting these teams down in moments that they have to be able to capitalize in. You're seeing there, Halifax is able to go into transitional play because of a poor pass and being able to execute the small and the simple passes. Those have to be on. You have to be clean when you're making that decision, and being able to execute, again, the simple passes is what's going to help you and help drive you to find success.
Corner kick number 1 for the Tides. Played back in, played to the back post. Tides do have numbers, but it is sent wide.
That ball needs to be coming back across. I'm not sure if Wickers was attempting to have that redirect on frame, or it just hit her strangely. It's hard to tell from this angle, but that ball has to come back across to give her team another chance.
10 minutes to go before halftime. Maybe a bit of stoppage time added on as well. Allie Green plays forward to Harvey. Harvey looks for space. Will be a Calgary free kick as a result. Jorian Balcom hung up.
Baucom is such a big presence for them up there. I think it would be very helpful for Calgary to be able to play off of her, find her feet with her back to goal, have her lay it off, and then play those flank players and those speedy players like a Harvey or a Thurton to get forward. Then she can spin out and get into the box and bring that big presence that she has in and around the 18.
Another opportunity to run down the far side for Stordy. Leads the league in tackles and in interceptions. Ball sent in. Baucom with a few defenders around and finally is cut off. Valorant decided to put an end to that. And Baucom is slow to get up after that play. Had some promise. Another crunching tackle there. That's going to be a Calgary free kick coming up, and yellow card is going to come out quickly for Daphne Blouin. So into the book Blouin goes, and we just got a small look at this. But it looked like a really heavy challenge.
Blouin is definitely somebody that brings intensity, and she wears her heart on her sleeve, and you can see it here at the top of the screen. The ball's already gone, and then she continues to make that contact with more afterwards.
So into the book for the third time this year, and Michaela Moore certainly feeling the effects after that. It's been a big piece to this Calgary team. Moore started all 14 matches she's been available for, only missed one. So good to see that she's up and will be able to hopefully continue on.
She's definitely a big part of this Calgary team and helping them in the build-up play, but also being that big leader in the back and keeping them connected. So definitely not somebody you want to see step off the field.
You're watching the NSL presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Glad you could join us on this Saturday afternoon from Calgary. Mid-August fixture here between these two. So Blouin has to be careful. Former Laval Rouge or striker. Sent down and it's quickly away from the Halifax back line. Another chance for Clegg. Big strides. Rolsema covers a lot of ground. That's a solid play from the Dutch defender. Played up. Good ball from Harvey. Into the middle for Wilson. Wilson's able to get past Lemire. And lots of space now. Ball played through again. Catherine Harvey, ball across. And Baucom was there. The ball just never arrived. Cleared away. And Halifax has to be careful here in its own end.
That's some great build-up. Some great build-up from this Calgary team. You're seeing each player that gets on the ball doing what needs to be done as an individual. They're playing off of each other. They're moving. They want the ball. That final delivery has to come together, though. You see Harvey look up. She does see Baucom, but she's not able to connect that pass.
Already some exhaustion setting in for Fremont. Was put in a shift for the first 40 minutes of this match. Calgary has been once again on the front foot for the last quarter of an hour. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time before halftime. Stordy. Ball back to Maggie Doherty-Howard. Third, Calgary looks for a way in. Ball sent in, and this will be a corner kick. Be the fourth corner kick of the match, and here's a look at how the possession has played out so far as the Wild FC continue to possess and push for the opening goal. Doherty Howard played 90 minutes in every match except for 3 this year. Seen a lot of the pitch, looking for more on the back post, sent away but sent back in. And finally cleared out by the Tides, who defend well on the set piece. And will now try and counter. It's Clegg and Blouin trying to team up, but once again, the Wild quickly to intercept there as Doherty backtracking.
It's well done by Storty, some good defending. She reads that well, steps in, and gets it out of danger. Halifax doing well to also create that transitional play, but there's not enough numbers forward for something dangerous to come of it.
Wickers moves, plays to Leslie as Halifax will build up down this left side this time. Numbers in the penalty area, but the ball instead goes to Lemire. Wickers and Fremont. Fremont's ball looking for Nakamura. That was a yard or two in behind. And Nakamura whistled on the foul.
We're seeing a bit of a disconnect here, Matt, when you look at Halifax and how they are defending. We see that Cameron is really dropping off more into that 10 role at times to be able to collect that ball and go forward and be an outlet for them. But defensively, we're seeing Doherty Howard and Savitsky and Wilson really control that middle of the park. They have a lot of time and space, and it's because of that gap that's being created when Cameron is caught too high and you have both Lemire and Nakamura really trying to drop off. There's just too much of a gap there. They have to stay connected, as well as just the whole team being on the same page. Right now, the forwards, the midfielders, and the back line are on different pages, and it's allowing Calgary to really take advantage of that.
Couple of minutes before halftime at McMahon Stadium. Ali Green. Micah Rolsema sends the ball forward. Valeron pushes back. Lemire does the same. Nakamura, no time, no space, although that is a relatively feisty challenge there. Some forearms and elbows up high.
A hard-fought battle between Nakamura and as well as Doherty Howard. Seeing that forearm there right in the face of Nakamura, who didn't back down. We must say she did not back down, and she was able to win the foul.
Nakamura from Nagano, Japan. Leading scorer for the Tides this year with 3 goals. One of just 2 players who have scored multiple goals this year. Ball sent in again from the Tides. Sent away. Nakamura will play back. And this ball goes harmlessly over the end line again for another goal kick. Sarah Miller and Negumi Nakamura, the only players to have scored multiple goals this year for a Tides team that needs to find something in the attack quickly. Doherty Howard will play back to Moore. Cameron with the press. Rolfsema up into the middle. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Signaled by our 4th official, Kelsey Crothers. Ball into the penalty area. Here come the Tides, and it's a strike, but right at the keeper. And another save for Bukovic, her 2nd of the half.
You see Cameron with her arms up in the air there. She really wanted that ball to come back across, but Miller decided to take that shot. A little bit of a strange angle for her. It's hard to score from there. Obviously, Bukovic shutting down her angles well. It goes right into her hands, not causing her many issues. But there has to be that recognition of when to take your shot and when there's somebody else on your team who is in a better position to potentially score that goal.
It's another good chance for the Tides, who have to be brave and opportunistic when these chances do come up. Ball coming. Great play to let the ball go through. Some good backtracking there from Wickers to take it away.
That was well done, a no-touch turn by Baucom, very smart. She was able to get away there, but the ball just getting away from her a little bit too much, and Wickers doing well to read that and come across to get it out.
Moore and Blouin meet once again. "90 seconds through stoppage time."
That's another example, Matt, of just Cameron and Blouin needing to have a bit more strategy behind how they're going to press. You see Blouin running up, getting forward, and Cameron shifted too much. Savitsky is who they have to deal with. They have to, if they're not going to stay directly on her, at least screen her and have that pendulum going up top where they're able to play off of each other and just screen Savitsky, not allow her to be an outlet, because she is somebody, as well as Doherty Howard, who has been huge for coming off the front and just getting on the ball to be an outlet and help them create build-up.
This will be a Halifax goal kick this time for Guillemette, who, if you join us late, is making her first professional appearance today, with both regular kickers Annika Toth and Erin McLeod not available. Olivia Busby, the 17-year-old who is suited up as a backup keeper for AFC Toronto, is the number 2 today. Young player in this league, and some movement allowed when there is a spot to be filled.
It's a great rule. It allows those young players to get the opportunity to step into different environments and potentially leave their mark there, and you know, for them moving forward. So it's definitely great that Busby's able to be a part of 2 really great environments so far.
Might be time for one more kick here before halftime. Will be a Calgary Wild free kick here in the dying seconds, with Green and Doherty Howard once again scheming. So there's some late magic here for the home side. Ball is sent in. It will test Halifax's back line, and it does come close. A corner kick is in order after Guillemette with another save.
That's well done by Moore to be able to get up and get that towards goal. It's not easy to do that when you have to time, and you also have to turn your body and your shoulders towards the net to put it on frame. Guillemette coming up with a big save. Doherty Howard with a great delivery, which, you know, we spoke about her, free kick specialist. We've seen her do it, so there's no shock there. But another dangerous opportunity for Calgary being able to come out of this.
So this certainly has to be the last kick of the half. Doherty Howard, hand in the air, right boot ready. Now delivered in, back post, all sorts of contact in behind Guillemette, and Isabelle Duclos says that is that. The first half is now in the books. Perhaps a surprise, we haven't seen a goal yet, with great chances going both ways here, Jess.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some goals in the second half. I think that on Halifax's end, they're a little too disconnected defensively. They have to stay more compact in between their lines. I think that was really letting them down, and Calgary was doing well to expose that and find those areas. But it was the simple things that were letting both of these teams down. It's that simple pass and being able to execute it. But as well, in that final third, there has to be more bite. You have to be able to make the most of the opportunities that are being created, because in the end, those are the ones that are potentially coming back to bite you and haunt you. And you wish you had them back. So both of these teams are coming out with that front-footedness and the right mentality, but now it's a matter of being able to clean things up and really bring that final product together.
So we will decide the points here in the second half. 45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go. Both Calgary and Halifax outside of the playoff picture, and that will certainly ratchet up the intensity in this second half. 0-0 between the Tides and the Wild.
off the post and in. It's the goal we've been waiting for.
That is a highlight we will see over and over and over again. That is absolutely world class. Oh my goodness.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. 0-0 between the Calgary Wild FC and the Halifax Tides. Looks like the mascots are in the mood for having a little bit of fun here.
Of those. I want one of those inflatable suits.
Backheel into the small
Fancy.
net. Impressive. What else was impressive here was this first half of highlights here. Despite the 0-0 score, some great chances, some great saves, and it starts here with this ball from Maggie Doherty-Howard right off the base of the post.
Yeah, this was a great opportunity. You see Bauckham work really hard to get there, use a bit of physicality, and she recognized that Doherty-Howard is wide open. Doherty-Howard going right off the post, but a dangerous opportunity from them. And then on the flip side, you're looking at this Halifax team that's hungry and wants one, and Fremo plays this great ball through to Clegg, who continues to drive forward and strike this. A rebound is let out. I actually would have preferred her to play this early ball across to Cameron, who was running straight at goal, but nonetheless, it's a great opportunity for Halifax, one of the best that they had in that first half. Savitsky looking for her second of the season, very active in trying to get that back on frame. And then this one, Matt. This is the one to talk about. This is a great strike. Phenomenal IQ there by Wilson. Doherty-Howard, you see a nice little cheeky pass, and Wilson looks up and absolutely strikes that. Gilmet coming up big for Halifax on that, though.
And this was just before halftime here. Another save from Gilmet in her pro debut. Deep into stoppage time, so 3 saves for Sophie Gilmet, the Montreal native, on 6 attempts. And Calgary up at 59% in terms of possession. Tide certainly had some chances as the visitors as well, with 2 attempts on target. Clegg with one of the best attempts in that first half. But we will have to decide the points in half number 2 here, Jess, but largely controlled here by Calgary.
Yeah, I think the stats are fair there, but definitely excited for what this second half has to bring, Matt. I think we're going to see some goals.
So we will have the second half shortly. We'll also take a look at an interesting piece about rivalries that are starting to be created now in the Northern Super League. That is on the other side as we continue with our halftime show from Calgary.
just a concept or idea on a napkin, but 2 years ago it didn't even have teams.
Looking for the strike. Oh! Now that's a finish. Northern Super League.
It will transcend the sport, the Northern Super League, for years to come.
Welcome back to our coverage of the NSL presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Halftime in Calgary, and we're already at week 18 of the season. Rivalries and some fierce ones have formed. Let's take a look at what some of them are.
I think Montreal's going to be a very strong team, so I think there'll be a East kind of rivalry maybe between us and Montreal.
I love a good rivalry, and I think there definitely will be some that develop. Like I think of Ottawa and Montreal. That seems like a fun one to me.
Me being from Vancouver, the biggest rivalry is going to be Toronto-Vancouver, and that game will be very telling, I think. We'll let the game speak for itself.
I definitely have a personal connection to Toronto. That East Coast, West Coast conversation that I feel like I always had with my Vancouver friends growing up of like what city was better and whatnot. And so I think that'll be a fun rivalry.
I could see maybe a Vancouver-Toronto. I think those of us from the West Coast like to think that, you know, people in Toronto maybe think they're the center of the world. So I could see that. That's a bit of a thing for us West Coasters.
For me personally, Toronto as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to beat Toronto in Toronto.
We're doing a lot of media stuff today, and like I genuinely like everybody. So it's like, I have to like build this rivalry now.
I think for our team, we actually have a lot of people that are from Quebec. I have a feeling that there'll be a little bit of a rivalry between Montreal and Halifax.
My early money is on the Roses out of Montreal. You can't have a rivalry in Vancouver. It's so far, right?
I feel like Toronto-Ottawa is going to be a rivalry. That's obvious, same province.
Yeah, so I'm a prairie girl at heart, so I'm coming over to Ottawa, new territory in Ontario. But I've already heard like the rumblings, like when the schedule came out, like we've got Toronto. I'm like, oh, like great matchup. They're like, no, like I feel like it means a little bit more to some of the, you know, local Ontarian people. I'm here for it. Let's build it up.
I could see like Toronto, Montreal, it's just history. They're probably going to go at it. I feel like we're kind of going to be there just competing with everybody, but we won't have a rivalry. If one day there's a Quebec team, then there'll be a rivalry. We'll see. I don't know.
I think it was the Halifax team.
They said we were?
They said potentially Montreal.
Oh, interesting.
My partner plays for Montreal, so maybe that naturally will be quite an interesting matchup. And I'll look forward to those games.
The league is only made up of 6 teams, so I think that every game is going to be a rivalry. You're playing to win, like you play the same team, it's going to be tough. And because we play each team so many times, I think it's going to be like, okay, they won last time, we're going to win this time.
Relationship towards Montreal, I mean, it's like, it's the French, and that sounds awful. We're gonna cut that out. Montreal's gritty. It was really cool. When I played with the national team, we were in Montreal and their fan base is awesome. They're very loud, they're very in your face, but like, I love that as a player, but like, to be against that, it's gonna be something else, so it'll be exciting. Oh my God, I was like, it's the French. I'm like,
Welcome back to Calgary. You're watching the NSL presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Festive environments in the stands today. These fans hoping for a goal. We had certainly no shortage of great chances in that first half. This is week 18. Let's take a look at the upcoming matches. We finish off this week at BMO Field, the big CNE match tomorrow between AFC Toronto and the Vancouver Rise. That should be great. And then we push into week 19. Only 2 games on the slate, the Roses and the Wild play, with the Ottawa Rapid taking on Vancouver as well. So we are moments away from the second half kickoff. And Jess, I have to ask you, starting with Calgary, who certainly had the majority of the momentum in that first half, how do they break through here in the second half?
It's about cleaning up those final passes. You're seeing that build up, and they have that balance of patience, continuing to move the ball at pace when they are building out of the back between Rolfsma and Moore, and finding those moments of when to go forward and to really shift and stretch this Halifax team. But I think it's that final pass that's really letting them down right now, Matt, whether that is a direct play. We've seen a few where Moore has tried to find Storty and it's just overhit slightly, or the switch ball is attempting to be on, but it's not hit and executed well. So it's those simple things in that final pass and being able to execute when you're in and around the 18.
Couple of changes coming up here for the Halifax Tides. Get to that here in just a moment. Calgary Wild pushing towards Vancouver and that playoff spot. They'll be very interested in tomorrow's match down at BMO Field on the Lakeshore, with AFC Toronto taking on Vancouver to finish off this match week. So Marika Gay comes in, the Chateauguay, Quebec native, just southwest of Montreal, in for her 14th appearance of the season. Has a goal and an assist on the year, a former Canadian Youth International. And also coming in off the bench is the 19-year-old Sofia Cedeno, born in Panama, raised in Houston, Texas, in for appearance number 2. Recently signed and also recently turned 19 years old on August the 10th.
19, big moment for her.
So a couple of changes here for the Tides. And that's just my focus back to you, Jess. What would you like to see from Halifax here as we head into half number 2?
I think defensively in that first half, they were struggling a little bit. They weren't able to stay compact and connected and making that cohesive decision of when to step, specifically in that front line and being connected to the midfield. It was just a little too easy, and Savitsky was able to get on the ball without any pressure. So that really has to be cleaned up in this second half for them. And again, with them, it's their decision making when they get into that final third, and when to shoot and when to pass. When your teammate is open, if you're able to find them in the box and get that cross in as opposed to shooting from a strange angle. But the execution, Matt, I would say on both sides, I said that about Calgary, but the final execution of that final touch, that pass, that shot, whatever it may be, has to be cleaner from both of these teams.
So both of these sides have this 45-minute half here to try and determine who will pick up the 3 points. Once again, great to be joined by former Canadian Youth International Jess Lisi. My name is Matt Cullen. Match 3 of 4 in this match week. Valeron certainly had a lively first half for the Tides. We'll play back, and this is sent away. Michaela Moore steps up. Ball once again sent into touch. Will be a Halifax throw.
But you are also seeing, Matt, with Gay coming in as well as Cedeno, they have that more, that real 3 in the midfield, and it's going to be a direct battle now. You're seeing Cameron move back up and be more of that 9, which she's done very well for them in being an outlet and being a target. So this can definitely help them in what I was just speaking about in regards to staying compact and being on the same page and dealing with that threat that Calgary has in the middle of the park.
And speaking of that threat, looks like Calgary really in the mood to try and pick up the pace here. The press comes quickly. moving very quickly to every throw-in. That ball did glance what looked like to be the hand of Gay. Some of the Calgary Wild players asking some questions of our head official and also the assistant. Valorant back on the ball, looking for Cameron. Tiffany Cameron, 22 caps for the Reggae Girls in Jamaica. Her international career, also has 6 goals for the island nation. That's exactly what Halifax would like a little bit more of. Halifax does have the weekend off next weekend. Next match will be at the end of August, August the 28th at TD Place in Ottawa, before returning home for a couple against Toronto and then Ottawa again. So really a chance, Jess, to leave everything out on the pitch today, knowing that there isn't a tough trip or even a game next weekend.
Without a doubt, I'm sure that helps mentally, knowing that you get a bit of a break. But that mentality to win this second half has to really come into play here for both of these teams. The first half is done. Whatever happened has happened. And now it's about coming out in the second half and really showing what you're all about as both an individual as well as a collective unit.
Valorant has brought a lot to the table today and now has some room to run up this left side. Comes to Stordy. Stordy's ball back to the keeper, Bukovic, and it's a good boot away. As once again, the Tides will look to organize themselves. Played back. Annika Leslie ran into trouble. Ball stays in the field of play barely. Thurton. Maggie Doherty Howard calling for that ball. Savitsky runs in behind. Played back again. Rolfsema. Savitsky. Pass forward. Baucom decides this time to go back to Jacqueline Savitsky. Played to Stordy. Good ball in far post. Played back towards the middle. And Nakamura is able to send it away to safety. Perhaps one pass too many. No one on the receiving end there for the Wild.
You see just how many issues Calgary causes when they are able to get a ball into the box. They have to continue to do that. They have to expose that flank play. If they're going to play into Baucom, it's going to be very difficult for her to just simply spin, especially when the spaces are tight. And we've seen what Leslie and Wickers are doing on her back. They're not giving her any time or space. So there has to be that layoff option to switch it out and get that ball wide, to then get it back into the middle of the park. I think that's what's really going to help them unlock Halifax.
Harvey looking for that space. Also looking for her first goal contribution. The Coquitlam, BC native who was recently playing in Australia's A-League for Melbourne City FC. Also played in Turkey as well. That's really been the journey for a lot of these players. Canadian, but nowhere to play in a domestic league that's professional. So you do see a lot of the journeys that they've all been through. And now the road starting to come back into Canada with the Northern Super League.
Thank you, Northern Super League, we all say in unison.
I have 18 great weeks in the books. And of course, we'll determine the top 4. Into the playoffs we go, with the 2-legged semifinal, a pair of them to determine our final, which will be held at BMO Field to cap off season 1. Lydia Bedford wants to keep the pace moving here as well. Baucom taken down. Once again, nothing given. Valorant will take her quickly off the ball. Maggie Doherty Howard comes in late from behind. And Gay is slow to get up here.
Seen another look here. Just a bit of a late foul there. Doherty Howard coming through Gay.
Gilmet's 3 saves in that first half for Halifax in her pro debut. So far has held the fort. Although she did have a bit of help from the woodwork. Nakamura has this ball. Go too far out of her reach. Valeron tries to play forward, but Savitsky is there. Savitsky, lots of time and space in this Calgary midfield. Calgary first to a lot of these balls here, Jess.
You're seeing there, though, Savitsky winning that ball. She looks up. There's no options out wide. Thurton has to be wider. There has to be that partnership as well between her and Storty. When one of them is inside, the other has to be pulling out wide to allow those options.
Cameron wants to strike. Misses the target by a couple of feet, but that's because it took a deflection. So we'll go for a Halifax corner kick here in the 54th minute.
We spoke about what Cameron is capable of, and we haven't seen her connect with the goal just yet, but this is a good opportunity from her. She realizes that she has just enough time and space, and she has the range to do it, so she tries it, and I say, why not, Matt Cullen? Why not? Try it from there.
Never a bad question to ask, Jess. Never a bad question.
Are you one of those people that believes there's no bad questions, Matt?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. Wouldn't go that far. But when you're a team looking for goals,
no, you're absolutely right.
That's one you need to ask regularly, I think. Second corner kick of the day here for the Tides. Looking back post, headed back on, and Cameron was there. Oh, what a chance that was. Sent back in by the center back, Wickers, and very close to being the first.
That's well done by Wickers to be able to get up there and put it back across. Cameron not able to connect with it, but a dangerous opportunity coming out of it, and there has to be that bite in the attack. That is what we spoke about. That's been lacking a little bit from them, and finding that clinical edge that's needed to put the ball in the back of the net. But it all starts out with that bite and that intention of getting one in the back of the net.
Here's Thurton. Has a half step past Gay. Maddie Wilson, we know now that she can strike from distance. Played that ball over, but it's quickly countered. Clegg running onto the ball, has Cameron, has to beat more. Cameron first to the ball, plays back to Clegg. Millie Clegg towards the middle with a strike. Savitsky read that well and blocked it away. Cedeno also joining here as the ball is sent in, and Bukovic has to react well. That's her best save of the match.
That's well done by Bukovic, but also some great movement from Halifax. You're seeing so many players get involved there, making runs off the ball, which ultimately created some openings. And you see Miller putting her body on the line, sliding to get there. That all starts with Cameron's hard work, and then Fremo getting a ball across. Miller sliding to try to get something on that, but Bukovic said, not today.
Quick movement, and then had to hold the ball over the line just to make sure that there wasn't a question there. But Miller beating Storty to that ball with a great piece of sacrifice, putting the body on the line. Back-to-back chances for the Tides. Doherty Howard takes a touch and a second touch, but that allows Halifax to close the gap. Doherty Howard again. This time looks back to Storty. Thurton down this right side as Calgary once again is looking dangerous, and it's a corner kick that is in order as it goes off of Julianne Valeron. Game starting to open up here, Jess.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, I think that's going to be key for them in the second half. And you're seeing that balance of finding the patience in when to make that move to go forward and to be very front-footed. And you see Doherty Howard, she had patience there. She's able to find and play that ball out wide, being able to continue to recycle it. They also had Harvey wide open, so that flank play is going to be huge, and being able to switch the point of attack.
Another corner kick. It's a dangerous one. And Gilmet, who didn't get a piece of that ball, watches it go right out the other side. Big sigh of relief there.
That was a great delivery, and it could have been very dangerous had someone connected with that. It dropped in just the perfect area, but luckily was not, didn't make contact with anyone.
Anytime the keeper commits fully but doesn't touch the ball, it's going to be trouble.
Absolutely,
Most likely it's going to be trouble. But Guillemette has the stars aligned in her pro debut. Still 0-0. She's held the fort. Okay, in the middle, looking for Clegg down the right side. Too hot to handle, too far.
There's got to be more movement on that, Matt. Throw-ins are just as important as a free kick at times and being able to start that play out and really setting the tone. So there has to be more movement from Calgary on that so you're able to create and start a build-up.
Clegg to Cameron. Tiffany Cameron's ball intercepted. Sidonia. Good movement from the 19-year-old. Up top to Clegg. Marika Gay wants to strike this ball. It's countered quickly by Moore. Gay this time on the volley. Moore again countering. As Calgary says no twice to Halifax's attempts to try and push that ball into the penalty area. Nakamura tries to run down this ball. Once again sent into touch. Valorant runs into Sri to Thurton. Storty wins the ball back. Savitsky. Thurton realizing no time, no space. We'll take the throw instead as we inch closer to the hour mark. Some activity on the Halifax touchline as well.
It's been a fun duel between Valorant and Thurton on this right side.
Ball headed away again by Wickers. Storty. Looking at Balcom. Back to Thurton. Once again across. This is a good one. Back post! And did that go over the line?
I think that definitely went over
It did.
the line.
A delayed call from the head referee. It is 1-0 for the Calgary Wild.
That hold-up play, Matt, we just spoke about the importance of throw-ins and how they can lead to dangerous opportunities, and being able to find a player like Baucom who lays that off, a great delivery into the box, and then a clean finish. It was picture perfect. It's exactly what you want from your team in the attack, and everything that this Calgary side is capable of. You're seeing another look at it here. Thurton with a great delivery. And then this is a fantastic finish. Layoff here. Again, great back post run.
So that ball just edging over the line. And it is going to be Harvey on the finish. That's her first goal for club. Had to wait a while to celebrate it. Hands in the air, waiting for the referee to point to the center circle. Took a second or two, but the right call certainly was made. So it is Harvey, a mid-season signing.
It's hard to
goal
tell.
number 1.
It's hard to tell there for a minute, Matt, who that was. Weren't able to get a clear look at it, but again, that was a great finish by Harvey. Great delivery in, and a good combination play there from Baucom to be able to use her body well, lay that ball off, and really start all that. And now setting the tone, right? How is Halifax going to respond to this? How is Calgary going to respond to this? Is it going to work in their favor, or is the momentum going to shift?
So during the goal celebrations, there was a Halifax substitution, with Sid Kennedy coming onto the pitch, taking off Sarah Miller, who had a couple of chances in this match. Kennedy, though, a regular in the starting 11 for Halifax, but still looking for her first goal contribution of the year. And now with her team trailing, this might be the time, but Balcom has her first goal contribution in mind here as well, as the Calgary Wild forward stops up, turns the corner, ball played back in, and Fremont sends it away, at least on a half clearance. Doherty Howard, Savitsky, Doherty and Thurton. Thurton had a great ball to that back post. Goes for her second assist of the season.
Thurton is an absolute force if you give her the time and space to get delivery into the box, because that's the other thing. Not only is she able to go at people 1v1 and create those opportunities, but her delivery is normally right on the foot of the players that are making the run, or right on the head.
So Halifax conceding on that great Thurton cross, finished by Harvey. Is there something late for this Tide side? I guess late's maybe a little bit ambitious, still just under a half hour to go. It just feels late for this Tide side, who has struggled offensively over the last month or so.
There's been moments, Matt, so I think that it's about them being able to really come together and find the needed clinical edge in that final third, in and around the 18. There's been a couple good chances where they should have been able to convert them, that I know they're going to want back when they look back at these highlights, but there's still a lot of time for them to be able to create something dangerous and get on the board as well.
Lots of activity here, Jess, along the Calgary touchline. Looks like a triple substitution might be on the way here. Maddie Wilson heads over for a chat, not a change, at least not yet. That's Cameron, who's in some difficulty down on the pitch. So a triple substitution coming up. And that is a club debut for Calgary's new number 66. That's Michelle Romero, the Venezuelan international. Recently signed this week. So Romero will come in. Also saw Sonia O'Neill. Zally Green comes out. One of the set piece specialists for this Calgary Wild side, but big moment here for Romero. She looks to bolster this Calgary back end here, Jess.
We've seen so many new faces in this league come in and make such a difference. When we were talking about the Halifax side, you're seeing a player like Cameron come in and make such a difference. So this is a big moment for Romero to be able to step in and show what she's all about and help really solidify this back line.
Christy Gray in, the Vancouver native, for her 14th match of the season. And the goal scorer, Catherine Harvey, will come out, but certainly has to feel great about her first for club, her first in the NSL, and also putting her team in position to pick up all 3 points here at home. Something that Calgary really wants to try and turn after dropping 3 of the last 4 matches here. And there's a look at O'Neill, also a Venezuelan international. 13 caps for the South American nation, and comes in for her 9th appearance of the season. Another August birthday, Jess, coming up. O'Neill will be celebrating on the 19th. Opportunity here for Halifax to try and turn this corner from Kennedy.
Looks like Storty might have got stepped on in that one. It's definitely a stinger. Takes a minute to walk off. Seeing that duel here again. This is always a fun battle between these two. Sid Kennedy's foot went an awkward way there as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that didn't look pleasant for either player.
Thankfully, they're both good and up.
Rolling out that ankle. Michaela Moore, who came into the match 4th in Northern Super League touches, sees a lot of the ball and also watches this one go into touch just out of the reach of Savitsky.
You are seeing the difference, though, Matt, in the second half in that midfield with having both Gay and Cedeno come in and really helping to solidify that structure a little bit more and stay compact and not allowing Savitsky too much time to be able to build out and create as she was in the first half.
Taken again by the Tides. Wickers looks to push this ball forward. Might be an opportunity. Played back to the keeper. Sent away by Bukovic. Wickers. Malcolm takes her off the ball, wins a throw. Romero. Ball quickly sent in once again. Into touch, Wilson will lay this off to the Calgary newcomer. Played back again. Rolfsoma to Moore. Back into the middle for O'Neill. Ball played to Gray. Christy Gray, former Queens Gale in U Sports. Watches this one glance off of the corner flag into touch for a very deep Halifax throw. 3 shots on target today from the Tides, 8 attempts. But missing that finishing quality here today. Gray wins this ball back. Storty, ball into the middle. Guillemette will make the breadbasket catch.
I think Sid Kennedy is going to be somebody that is going to help turn the heat up for this Halifax side. She's been the most consistent player for them this entire season. You always know what you're getting from her, and that's hard work and her ability to go 1v1 and cause issues, get delivery into the box. I know you said, Matt, she hasn't gotten her first goal as of yet, but she's definitely been involved in a lot of the goals that have been coming Halifax's way recently. So definitely a player that's going to make a difference for this Halifax side, even if it's just from her work rate alone.
Well, Jess, you know about the commentator's jinx.
You're right.
You just
Don't
put it
say
out
that.
there. You just put it out there. Right now, though, the Tides are going to have to deal with a corner kick here in the 70th minute. Guillemette gives the thumbs up. 3 saves on 4 shots. And the goal, maybe just a half foot over the goal line. Didn't go in by much. Doherty Howard, top of corner, kick number 8. Hammered in, and now quickly sent away. Wilson goes back to Storty, looking again at Gray. Christy Gray again. Another corner kick, 1. Referee's going to come over to the middle and show a yellow card here. Perhaps something was played on advantage. Marika Gay had a question or two. Get some confirmation on that. So Valeron has picked up the yellow card. Well, that'll be one we'll have to take out the microscope for, Jess, in the replays. Something must have happened away from the ball. Not cleared. O'Neill towards goal, blocked, second chance, and Moore was right there. Cannot believe she missed the target. Well inside the 6-yard box, and Calgary's 2-0 advantage was right there for the taking.
You see that frustration from Moore at the end, but this is a great delivery, and again, and Sonia doing well to collect that and get it back in there, and Moore just not able to keep her body down. She gets under that ball and hits it straight up over the bar.
Cameron surrounded by two Wild players and is taken down. Free kick on the way. Taken quickly by the Tides, who are just a kick away from tying this match. Clegg bears down on Rolfsema, who plays a back pass. That could be real trouble here as Bukovic does the right thing to concede the corner kick.
That was close, but that was also showcasing the energy and the IQ of Sid Kennedy, who recognizes that early and puts Bukovic under immediate pressure, leaving her no choice. That could have ended a lot worse, so well done for Bukovic to recognize that. Some good footwork from her with the pullback as she has both Clegg and Kennedy right on her.
Third Halifax corner kick on the way. Struck in, headed towards goal. Does not take a deflection according to Isabelle Duclos. Tides don't seem to be overly pleased with that. Wickers and Annika Leslie heading back to the back line with a few words. Calgary protecting a 1-0 lead, looking to make it back-to-back wins. Rolfsema sends it ahead. Good touch from Wilson. Goes down this far side. There are some options, although that quickly ends. It's Romero's touch right into the boots of Nakamura. Lots of room in the midfield area. Sent to Sid Kennedy. Been lively since coming into the match. Looks at Stordy. Kennedy top of the penalty area. Sent away by Savitsky.
That was well done by the Halifax. I believe it was Wickers who found that ball through to Cedeno to be able to create something dangerous there.
Malcolm and Leslie get tangled up, and it's a yellow card shown to the Halifax defender. So that's the third yellow on the day to the Tides. Blouin picked one up in the first half. She has since left the match. Valorant and now Leslie. So half of Halifax's back line now is playing on a yellow.
We know that both these teams love to bring some grit, so I'm not too surprised by that. We're seeing them go hard into the tackles. They're wearing their hearts on their sleeves. Well won, well up.
Yellow card received by Halifax Tides FC.
Sent back, and Gay will try and play forward. Cameron gets past Sonia O'Neill. Cameron running into the middle. Back to Cameron. Might have a step and a chance at goal. Cameron putting the ball in, but just lost the angle. And Bukovic does well to cut that off.
That was a great play. You saw Sid Kennedy making that run to create space for Cameron and a bit of combination play there, but Cameron not able to wrap her hips back around it to send it back into a dangerous spot.
Bauckham drew some cheers from the crowd, but it's quickly taken back by the Tides. Gay will play back to Leslie. Nakamura with less than a quarter of an hour to go from Calgary. This ball is just sent into Wild territory. Sonia O'Neill plays to Stordy. Taken back in the middle of the pitch by the Wild, who would love a second. It would pretty well put this game out of reach or close to it. Free kick one, Fremont showing some frustration as well.
A bit of contact there from Frimo on the back of Romero.
59% for Calgary in terms of possession, up a tick at the 58% they had at halftime. Calgary Wild also looking to win 2 straight matches for the first time this year. Did go a stretch of 4 straight without a loss back in May. 2 wins, 2 draws, but have never picked up 2 victories in a row. 13 or so minutes away from doing that. Romero.
You're seeing that hunger, Matt, from Calgary. They want to win those first and second balls, and that was something that let them down the last time these two teams met. It was Halifax that was actually winning those first and second phase balls, whereas now today we're seeing it shift and Calgary, really taking control of that.
Rolfsson plays to Moore. Taken quickly back by the Tides. These two teams will meet one more time this year. It'll be back here at McMahon Stadium. Oof, there's a hard crunching tackle there from Gray. 5th and final meeting back here in Calgary on October the 11th. So Gray will retreat back. Taken by Leslie. Leslie wants players forward. Storty down to Sonia O'Neill. Finally sent away. Wickers. Ball forward looking for Cameron. Cameron on this ball again. Has some company. Cedeno. Good ball back. Opportunity to strike towards goal, and it will result in another corner kick.
You're seeing
another chance here.
Yeah, sorry, Matt, to cut you off, but you're seeing the difference that Cameron does make when she gets on the ball. She's creating something each and every single time she gets on it, whether her back is to goal and she's laying that ball off, or she's able to spin and drive forward and buy time for her teammates to also get forward with her. But there's something coming out of every time she touches the ball.
Katie Barrett and the Tides looking for something late. Will this set piece be the opportunity? It's delivered in, headed back towards goal by Valorant. Valorant will have a second chance at it, and it goes off of Moore. Another corner kick on the way. 2 really good opportunities there for Julianne Valorant.
That's a good individual effort from her. She wins that initial ball and then collects this. It's a great strike, but Moore not even phased. That goes right off the chest of Moore and back out for another corner.
Just letting out a roar as well after that block.
That couldn't have felt nice.
Leslie again from the corner. Good ball in there again, and Valorant just mistimed the jump. Goes out for a goal kick this time.
Those are 2 great deliveries in, and obviously the first one resulted in another corner kick and a good dangerous chance, but you have to be able to capitalize on these. When a good delivery and a good service is put in the box, you don't know how many more chances you're going to get. You have to make the most of those opportunities. As we spoke about in that first half, Matt, you're going to want them back.
Looks like there is another stoppage in the play here, Jess, as Guillemette for Halifax is down seeking some attention. Both teams glad to take a bit of a refresher here, it seems.
And a bit of a regroup. You want to, be able to finish these last few minutes out showing your best self and showcasing the best of your abilities. And I think Halifax obviously right now is chasing the game, and they're wanting to come out with that energy and really put that final piece together. So a bit of regrouping here from them. Calgary has to be able to hold that lead. It's not easy to hold a 1-0 lead, especially when you have a resilient side like Halifax, who we've seen come back in the past against this Calgary side. Actually, we've seen them come back and end up losing 3-2 in the past.
Yes.
But it was very close, and they were able to show that resilience from them. They were able to show their heart. So you can never count Halifax out. We've seen that so far this season.
Well, in that game, it was 3-0 at halftime before Halifax scored a couple of goals within 4 minutes in the second half to make it close. And this game, again, right there.
All it takes
83rd
is one.
minute.
All it
That's
takes
it.
is one.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. Megumi Nakamura, the 24-year-old, will come out of the match. And Valerie Seto, the Montreal native, will come in. Also a double substitution here as Sarah Olai, the Swede, will come in for the last 10 or so minutes. So that's all 5 substitutions for the Tides, if my math is correct. And I'm being told it is correct. And that's a big if, Jess, because it's not always the case. So thank you, production team.
I had faith in you, Matt. I knew you were correct.
I appreciate the confidence. It's always great. So there is a look at Olai, 26 years old. First time playing outside of Europe, had a long pro career in Sweden, also was a Swedish youth international. Really not left out of the starting lineup too often. 14 games, 14 starts. So really just the second time she hasn't been included in the starting 11 this year. Baucom whistled on the foul. This is another battle there between Leslie, who picked up a yellow card earlier after an exchange with Baucom. So it's a good forward center back duel developing. We heard about the rivalries at halftime, Jess. We can add a new one, maybe.
You know there's always going to be a bit of a rivalry and a fun duel to watch when you have a great striker like Baucom against a very solid defender in Leslie.
Storty concedes the corner kick here. Halifax has had the last 3 corners. This will be corner kick number 6 for the Tides, and have looked dangerous on the last couple or so. Moore had a big block. It looks like Baucom has now picked up a yellow card for that little piece of work.
It's a late hit.
Ball is in. Ball is whistled down. Cameron decides to put the ball in the back of the net. That's well after the whistle had gone. Or Seto.
Seto is a player as well, Matt, that we haven't seen her get too many starts, but when she comes into the game, she makes a difference for them. She brings a lot of energy. She's very crafty. She's somebody that loves to go forward, and her movement off the ball is great. She always wants the ball. She demands it, but she also puts that work in on the defensive end. So it's great to see her get in this matchup, and hopefully she's able to help create something for her side.
Seto in for her 15th appearance of the season. He's played in every game except for 1, but only 2 starts. Laurent against Baucom. Baucom has won the throw. Romero. Baucom, and Seto sees that once again over the touchline. 86th minute, set to cross over into the 87th. Time certainly of the essence now. 12 attempts at goal today from the Tides, 3 on target. Sonia O'Neill does well to push this ball forward. Savitsky will chase down. Wickers does well to make sure there is a goal kick.
We spoke about wanting to see that fight in Halifax and needing to finish off these final minutes, you know, proving your best and putting that best foot forward. And you're seeing from Calgary, they're not backing down. They're going to continue to finish this game strong. They're still bringing that front-footed attack. They're hungry. They want more, and they still have the energy, but they're also staying true to their structure. And in attempting to shut down this Halifax side and take away all hope.
Close to 3,000 in attendance today at McMahon Stadium. Isabelle Duclos will come back and give Calgary possession. O'Neill plays this ball into touch again. Calgary in no hurry here to see this one out in the driver's seat. And Valerie Seto tries to play forward, but once again, just that midfield area, too crowded to advance. Taken back, Gray over the top. Bockham will head towards the corner flag and does well to keep possession in these dying minutes.
That's well done by Bockham. That's not an easy ball to deal with. You see Gray attempt to get that ball through to her, but just gets under it, leaving her not many options, Matt, than to do other than what she had just done. So that's well done by her, being able to attempt to keep that in bounds and deflect it off of Halifax.
Certainly it's a stop-start, few minutes down this far side as Van Laurent puts that one into touch. That will suit Calgary just fine. Van Laurent trying to get around. It's an awkward stretch there. Finally sent away. Rolfsema. Bukovic. Felt that was a dangerous moment. Had to play it chest to boot, just into touch. Seto quickly countered there by a speedy Micah Rolfsema. Takes that opportunity away. And this will be heading to the corner again. Halifax continuing to earn these set pieces late.
Question is, can they capitalize? That has been what is letting them down. It's not for a lack of chances, I would say, in this game, Matt. They've had quite a few that should have been converted. So are they able to convert this one? Potentially one of the final moments for them.
Into the 90th minute. Leslie hammers this ball in. Bukovic comes out. The ball's behind her for a second. There's a big pile up. And it's a Calgary free kick as a result. All sorts of bodies and legs and boots in behind the Wild keeper here.
This is a great delivery in. Bukovic comes out. Seto fighting there with Gray. And it looks like Kennedy said, I'm going to try to get into this and get the ball out, but it just gets caught up there, and Bukovic in the end being able to hold on.
And now needing some medical attention as the stoppage time comes up from the fourth official. 4 minutes added on. So time to regroup late here for the Tides, who have just scored 1 goal since July the 12th and in danger of adding another game where they're blanked onto the calendar sheet here.
These poor goalkeepers both going down quite a bit this matchup.
Looks like Bukovic is okay. That was certainly a concerning situation though. Whenever the ball's behind you, can't really feel good about your situation. And then taking a pretty hard bump there from Kennedy and others who were looking for that loose ball. Good to see she's up. So might be a little bit more stoppage time after the injury. Sent forward again by Leslie, quickly countered by the Wild. Bockham watches this go into touch again. We have seen some crazy stoppage time goals just throughout the NSL, so.
It's true, it's never too late. All it takes is one opportunity, Matt. Whether that's in the final second or in that first minute of stoppage time, but you just need one opportunity to be able to even this out.
Well, Ottawa was able to rescue a point in Vancouver a week or two or so ago.
Adamek coming up big for them in that final few seconds.
Literally the final kick of the game. Clegg trying to kick things into gear here, Leslie. No, that's not going to work with the head official. Cameron's header sent away by Michaela Moore. So the throw-in will come up another 10 yards up the pitch. Leslie's ball. Sonia O'Neill intercepts. Ball bounced around, picked up by Kennedy. Sydney Kennedy will deliver in. Moore away. The header comes from Seto. Sidonia. Played wide. Valeron goes between the legs, but again defended well. Jordy Howard had the shirt tugged on there by Sidonia. That one goes undetected. And now Jorian Baucom be happy to waste a bit of precious seconds away. Now goes down, has won the free kick. That's perfect from one of the Calgary newcomers. Took the contact. And Wickers will be left frustrated with that.
You see that smile on Baucom's face. She knows exactly what she's doing. She does well here. She waits for Wickers to come on her back, and she falls quite easily on that. That's why you see that little smile. She got away with it, but nonetheless, they've been on her back the whole game, so she's going to take advantage of the opportunities now and go down when you feel a push. And that's something that they teach you as a striker. It's like striker 101. You feel that little push. If you can draw something out of it, you have to fall. But you got to sell it. You got to sell it, Matt. You can't just fall. Can't flop around.
Well, she certainly got what she needed out of that scenario, and once again we'll play this out, and that will do it. Calgary has won 2 in a row for the first time this year. A second half goal comes from Harvey. Catherine Harvey, her first for club, and it's enough to give the Wild 3 big points as they continue to push towards the playoffs.
That was a well-earned win. I thought in that first half they came out very front-footed. They were able to create opportunities, but not able to finish them. But as that half continued on, you saw them grow. They were able to really break down Halifax and find those gaps and live in them. And in the second half, obviously, we're seeing them get a goal, and they're able to walk away with the win. Halifax struggled a little bit, having their moments, but that final piece of the puzzle not quite coming together and being able to finish and get one in the back of the net.
And for the Tides, it has to be back to the drawing board here, Jess. Now just 1 goal in their last 7 matches.
There has to be something in that, right? You have to have that confidence, and I think that's a big aspect of it when you're in those big moments and being able to capitalize on them. There's an aspect of confidence that you have to have, and we saw it. We saw that grit, and we saw that hunger to go forward and create them. But there definitely has to be something there. They have to go back to the drawing board and train in that and practice and focus on it in training sessions because it is definitely lacking for them right now.
Here's a look at our full-time statistics. The Tides end up with more attempts, but Calgary ends up with more shots on target, and in the end, more goals as well. It's a 1-0 victory for the Calgary Wild, who pick up win number 6 on the campaign so far, and of course we'll be very interested now to see tomorrow's match between Vancouver and Toronto, as that 4th and final playoff spot will be an interesting race.
That's going to be a good one. And yes, to your point, Matt, it is. It's that 4th spot. Who is it going to be? Who's going to fill it? Calgary obviously in the run for that. They're going to be watching that matchup closely tomorrow, Vancouver versus Toronto. But nonetheless, this was a great performance by Calgary, I would say, and a well-deserved win.
And it's the CNE match. Should be a great one tomorrow down at BMO Field. AFC Toronto hosting that, and they continue to lead the Northern Super League, but Ottawa picking up points today against Montreal. In fact, all 3 points, so look at that. Now level with Montreal with 25 points. Vancouver in 4th place at 20 points, and now Calgary right level with the Rise, although the Rise do have that match to play tomorrow. And for Halifax, the worry would be being left behind now, 8 points back of the final playoff spot.
You just have to be able to finish the season out strong. Every matchup needs to be a win. Of course, they weren't able to walk away with one today, but you also have to finish it off with that pride and just, show this league what you're all about. Go out there and prove it to yourself and, just fight for your teammates. Obviously, they started off pretty rough, so it's going to be hard to be able to fight into that spot, but they just have to continue and finish this out strong.
So it's back-to-back wins for the Calgary Wild and back-to-back clean sheets as well. 1-0 the final today as the Wild triumph for the third time this year over Halifax. For Jess Lisi, myself, Matt Cullen, and all our hard-working crew at the Northern Super League, thanks for watching and have a great rest of the weekend.